All right. Good morning. And this morning we're going to be doing, um, as I mentioned, a little bit more of a warming practice. And in fact, the theme for this practice is building the fire within. And one of the best ways to do that is with core work. So we'll be working with some core stabilizing and strengthening poses. To get started, if you have a ball, you'll grab a ball. If it's not convenient, it's no big deal. You'll use a block. And you're going to place your sacrum, there's your tailbone on the block or the ball. And so this has a couple of properties that it's offering you. One is the physical property of just creating a nice gentle stretch in the front of the hips. From an energetic offering, it has activating the parasympathetic nervous system, because when our hips are elevated higher than our heart, it's just naturally helping the flow of the blood to the heart. And it can offer a little down regulation of the nervous system. So as you're in this supported back bend with the ball underneath your sacrum, just allow your body to connect to this present moment. Good morning, Cindy.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm late.
No worries, no worries. So we're using either a ball or a block underneath the sacrum to start.
Okay, I'm going to run and get mine. It's in the next room.
Okay.
Oh, wait, maybe it's in here. I'm
And
sorry, it's in here.
and so in this pose, you could take a moment to explore the senses. The physical senses can sometimes be the most accessible to us. So noticing the feet and where the weight is on the feet and whether it's more on one foot than the other. Noticing the alignment of the knees. Are they aligned with the hip, or are they drawing in towards each other, or is one drawing in more than the other? We have so many sort of slight differences in the two sides of the body. And that's because most of us have a tendency to favor one side over the other. And so we reinforce strengths and flexibility on our favorite side. So just notice if any of that shows up for you here. And now we're going to add a little bit of movement through the pelvis. You could take your hands on your hips. Again, sometimes having the sort of that physical feedback can be helpful. So your thumbs are on the back side of the hips and the fingers are on the front side. And as you inhale, you're just going to roll your hips forward. So you have an arch in the lower back. And as you exhale, you'll roll your hips back. And you'll just continue doing this with your breath. And this is a nice way to warm up this area, warm up the hip joints. And then once again, just notice, does the left or the right side, does it move a little bit more fluidly? And just notice as you repeat this, as the muscles in the joints warm up, do you feel a little bit more ease in this movement? Now, if you're feeling any bit of lower back discomfort, then you want to reduce this movement. We don't want to be straining the lower back and putting it into sort of a protectionary mode. And then pause here. And now we're going to do a trip around the around the clock. So you're going to sort of drop the right hip down and then arch and then drop the left hip and then the upper part of the spine. So we're just doing sort of a circle here slowly with, and this is a little bit easier on the ball because the ball moves, but you can still do it with the block, and you're going to feel those 4 points: 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And it can be interesting to just notice any sticky points here. And then pause at 6 o'clock and reverse it. And this can be kind of interesting in sort of the mind's ability to switch sides. And so sometimes it's much easier to roll in one direction than the other. And then once again, when you get to 6 o'clock, just pause here. And now press into your feet, and you're going to remove the block or the ball, whatever you had underneath the sacrum. And you're in an unsupported bridge here. On your exhale, just lower the hips. And on your inhale, press into the feet, let the hips rise. All right, pause with the hips lifted and press into the left foot. So you're shifting the weight primarily into the left leg. And on your exhale, lower down. Keep pressing into the left foot and you rise. So we're doing sort of one-legged bridges here. And we'll just do this 4 times. And the next time the hips are lifted, pause here. Let's switch sides. Press into the right and you lower and lift. And again, this can be interesting to just notice the difference in the 2 sides of the body. Sometimes it's a physical difference, physical in strength or flexibility. Other times it's sort of a connection, a mind-body connection. You might be more connected to one side than the other. All right, next time the hips are at pause here. Now this is optional. You can repeat what we just did, shifting the weight into the left leg, left foot. Alternatively, you can extend the right leg up to the ceiling. On your exhale, you're going to lower the hips down. So this right leg can be in the air or it could be on the floor. On your inhale, press into the foot, rise up and lower the right knee aligned with the left. So that right leg is extending forward. So this is what this is the option to add on 4 times. And you lower the hips, lift the leg if you're doing that variation. Press up, lower the leg. And just 2 more like that. Or just like whatever variation you're taking. And then you're going to pause with the hips up, lower the right leg, shift the weight to the right leg, option to extend the left leg up into the air. Now you might be able to do this on one side and not the other. Again, interesting to note. Lower the hips, press into the foot, lift the hips, lower the right leg. And you just do that 3 more times. And after you've done a total of 4, you're going to lower the left leg to meet the right. Pause here for a moment. And then slowly lower the hips to the ground. All right, welcome, Barbara.
Hi, I had trouble getting in, sorry.
No worries. All right, so let's take the ball between the thighs.
This one.
We'll do a little bit of core. So today, for those of you that sort of missed the introduction, we're doing a late winter kapha balancing practice. So we're focusing on the element of fire using core poses. We'll also do a fire breathing breath. And we're going to do the hip movements that we did last week. And again, modify anything, ask questions if I'm not offering an option that feels right for you. All right, so the feet come off the ground, so you have shins parallel to the thighs. Now the lower back, you want to try to draw the lower back towards the floor. There's a tendency, especially if you were to take your knees away from you, for the lower back to lift off the floor, and you might feel a strain. So make sure that the knees are in a place, so maybe you have to bring them closer to your chest in order for that lower back to feel secure. Arms come out to the side, palms face down. On your inhale, nice deep breath. Exhale, lower the knees towards the left, not all the way. Press the bottom leg up into the ball or the block and let that bring you up through center. And then exhale the legs to the right. Now that bottom leg presses into the ball and you're going to feel, we're going to go side to side. And what you're looking for here is to feel on this side, the left oblique firing up as you press the left leg up into the ball. And just be mindful that you're not tightening the jaw or crunching up the space between the eyebrows. Let the breath be fluid. And just do one more on each side so that we're nice and balanced. And then you'll pause in the center. Let the hands come behind the head. Now, you're welcome to keep the knees bent as they are. You could even bend them a little bit more. The other option is to straighten the legs. On your inhale, lift about an inch off the ground. The hands are clasped, making a little hammock for the head. So this is home base. On your next inhale, lift a little higher, squeeze the ball or block, lift a little higher, squeeze again, return to home base. Repeat, lift, squeeze, home base. Lift, squeeze, home base. Two more. Lift, squeeze, home base. Lift, squeeze, all the way down. Lower the feet to the floor. Keep the block or ball. Press into the feet. Lift up into a bridge pose. You're using this as kind of a counter stretch. So we were just shortening these muscles. So we're doing a nice counter stretch to allow sort of a reset there, inviting that length back in. And then lower the hips down. You're going to remove the block, extend the legs long, extend the arms, walk the legs over to the left, grab the right wrist and stretch to the left. So nice side body stretch. So when we're working the core, again, we want to balance the shortening, the firing, the heating of the muscles with some lengthening and some cooling. And then walk the legs back through center, over to the right, grab the left wrist and stretch. Back to center. Draw the knees in and let's rock on up to seated. So we'll take a moment in seated. We'll do a couple of boat poses. So knees are bent and start with the hands underneath the backs of the thighs. Press into the hands and let this draw the chest forward. Draw the shoulders down the back of the body. Relax the neck. Just have your gaze straight forward. And now, if you like, you can flip the feet off the floor. This is optional. The other option is to take the hands away. The final option, maybe you straighten the legs. And so for me, that doesn't work. I'm taking the variation that I feel like I can really keep the integrity of my lower back. And I feel this in the core, not in the lower back. And just a few more breaths. Release into a butterfly pose. So you've got the soles of your feet together. And we're not trying to do a deep stretch, so they can be far away from you. Hands on the ankles. Once again, use this to draw the chest forward. So nice little arch stretching out the lower back. Let the shoulders melt down the back. Release that. And with the feet on the ground, hands behind the thighs, we're going to do a round of Kapalabhati breath, seated, and then the option of doing it in the boat pose. So Kapalabhati breath, for those of you, most of you, I think, have done this with me before. You take a deep breath in, and then it's a forceful exhale. So we'll do a count of 30. So breathe in through the nose and then begin.
Oh, shit.
Deep breath in.
Charlotte,
Yes.
Charlotte, can you hear me?
Yes.
What position are we doing this from? Because we were just in a boat pose position.
Yes. So it was pre-boat. The reason I changed positions is so you could get a better view of it.
Okay, so it's this one.
So we're going to do that now. So the
Okay.
first suggestion was to do it with the feet on the ground so that you can focus on the breath. When we lift up the legs and we get into the boat pose, it's going to be a lot more challenging.
Okay.
So I wanted to give sort of a simple seated pose for the
Fine.
first round of it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
I
you
have a
could.
question. I
What's
have a
that?
question
Yes.
about the breath.
What's that?
I have a question about the breath.
Yes.
So you breathe in
Yes.
and then you forcefully breathe out through your nose.
Yes. It's all in and out through the nose. So,
Is it several puffs out?
so
or
it's
one?
30.
Oh, 30.
So I'm counting 30. If I'm doing it a little quicker, you may not get 30. So, so I'll just do, 2 breaths so you can see. So you breathe into the belly and then it's, so my whole sort of torso is getting exercise. This is a really good thing to do before you eat. It stimulates digestion because, as you can imagine, it's warming up all those deep muscles. It can be a little uncomfortable to do after you just ate. And it can be, quite heat stimulating. And a lot of times we do this in kind of physically challenging poses, which increases the heat building and the challenge.
Got it.
All right. So, sorry, I should have probably had us all just sitting, and I'm sorry that was confusing. So now we'll do another round of that breath, and we're going to be doing it a few more times throughout the practice. We'll be doing it in Utkatasana also. So you could do it here like this, or you could take your variation of the boat pose and begin. Deep breath in and begin. Breathe in. Exhale. Hands come to the mat, fingertips facing towards the feet. And then inhale, press up, come into a reverse table. Just using this as a counter stretch. If this doesn't feel good in the wrists, you can just lie down and stretch out like this. So we just want to, again, that can create a lot of shortness. So this is just an option to offer the torso length. And then let's lower down. All right, I just want to see if there's any questions on that because it seems like I fell down on some of the this translation. How was that? Anyone feeling a little? What's that, Doug?
It's a little bit hard to breathe.
Yes, and that's why maybe you don't combine it with the boat pose. Yeah, I see some heads nodding. Yeah. So you just skip that. We're going to be practicing it again through other poses, like I said. So there'll be lots of opportunities, and they're opportunities. They're not obligations. So you can skip it if it's not feeling good for you. All right. So let's come to table. You have your hands on the mat, toes are curled under. We're going to do some cat and cows. So rounding the spine and then arching the spine. And just do a couple more of these. And we're going to continue with our building of the inner fire from within. So come to a neutral pose. Extend the left leg back. Have the hips level. So before you even lift this leg off the ground, level off the hips. Keep the hips level. Keep the core engaged as you float the left leg up. So I'm not changing the arch in my spine. I'm not hiking up my hip. I'm keeping it level. Option to extend the right arm forward. Now keep pressing into that left hand so you don't sink into this shoulder joint. We have this rooting and rising. And then the option to bring elbow and knee towards each other and then extend out. And you do this with your breath, being careful not to lift that left leg too high so that you arch the lower back. We're focusing on the core. We're not focusing on a back bend here. It's more about stoking that inner core. Next time the arm and leg is extended, pause here. Lower the right hand down. Take the left leg over to the right. Look over the right shoulder. Breathe into the left side. And come back to table. Just do a couple of cat and cows, just resetting the lower back and the hips. And pause in a neutral spine. The right leg extends when you're ready. Level off the hips, engage the core. Float the right leg off the mat. Option to extend the left arm. Option to bring elbow and knee towards the midline. One last round. You pause, extend it, lower the left hand, take the right leg over to the left, breathe into the right side of the body. Come back to center. Turn the toes under and stretch back to your downward dog. Have the knees bent and just slowly begin to open up the backs of the legs. Now, staying here, or if you're looking for more fire, on the inhale, you come to a plank pose. So slide down, shoulders just in front of the wrist, and then press back 3 times. That's optional. The other option is you hang out in your dog, you pedal it out, you invite length where you need it. We all meet up in dog. And then let's walk the feet to the hands. So however that looks for you. Nice deep bend in the knees. Forearms rest on the thighs. And just begin to open the backs of the legs, just like a flower opening up its petals. And just notice the sensations in the back of the knees. And be mindful of not inviting any tingling, any sharp pains. This is where a lot of muscles attach, so you don't necessarily want to be stretching. We're just trying to warm up and create a little bit of space. Now pause here, hands to the hips. Imagine that block or ball between your thighs. Stretching the heels apart. So feel an imaginary drawstring at the front of the hips, engaging the lower belly. And then inhale, you rise up. Once you come to standing, pause here and just enjoy a gentle back bend. Inviting the front of the body to open up. When the weather's cold, there is a tendency to sort of round the shoulders, close down. So it's just very gentle. Think about opening up the front of the hips, lifting the belly, stretching the front of the shoulders, relaxing the shoulders down the back, lengthening the tailbone to the heels. All right, inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. On your exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Inhale for chair pose, Utkatasana. Now having the arms in front of you is going to increase the heat. It's going to increase the challenge. So maybe, maybe that's not for you today. So just let the hands rest, maybe palms just center of the chest or on the hips. And then next inhale, rise up. Release the arms down. All right, have your feet shoulder width apart, hands on the belly. We're going to do another round of that Kapalabhati breath before we try it in Utkatasana. So deep breath in and begin. Deep breath in. Head, create space, and then exhale. Release the arms. Okay. How did it feel doing that breath standing?
Good.
Okay, great. All right, so now we're going to try it in Utkatasana. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. On your exhale, fold halfway. Press hands into the legs, nice long spine. Inhale into your chair pose. Optional, Kapalabhati. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. And exhale, release. Pause here, arms above the head. On your exhale, arch to the left. You can take that right hand on the hip if you like. Pressing into the outside of the right foot, invite lengthen space on the right side of the body. Inhale back up through center. We'll switch sides. Arching to the right. Right hand can rest on that right hip. And rise. Release both hands to the hips. All right, how's everybody doing? All right, so I just want to ask an opinion on something. Would you rather do some hit now or a vinyasa flow with warrior ones and utkatasana? Like, which one do you think would feel better in your body now? Do you need a little more warm up before hit, or is hit kind of going to warm you up? Any
What's hit?
What's that?
What's hit?
So hit is the high intensity. It's what we did before, where we did the squats and the releve. So we'll do them for I think I have the timer set 30 seconds and we'll
Okay.
do rounds of it. Does that
Okay.
sound good, Nan? The hit first? Hit you with the hit? Okay.
Hit me.
All right. So Barbara, you were here last week for the hit, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I think Doug, you were the only one that missed it. So I'm just going to demonstrate. You need a chair or a couch or something to sit on. And we're actually going to do 3 poses for 30-second intervals. We'll do the same 2 that we did last week, and then we're going to add a forearm plank also. So the first one, you sit on the edge of a chair, and the weight's on the left foot. So this is similar to what we did with the bridge pose. So we're practicing putting weight on a foot, but the other one still touches the ground. So the first variation, you're going to use your hands to stand up and your hands to stand down. You can increase the challenge by no hands. The other way to increase the challenge is you lift the right leg off the ground. So you use the hand. So you can just decide which one of these. Alternatively, you could do no hands, no leg.
No hands, no
What you
legs.
find is that you can sit down without the help of the other foot, but you need it when you rise. So there's lots of variations here. Let's just do the other side to figure it out. So I haven't started the timing yet because I know I gave you a lot of options. I just want you to figure out what feels good on each side because the 2 sides can feel different. All right. Does everyone have something they like?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we're going to begin, and let's start with the right foot on the floor since just because. So pressing into the right foot, rise up, and I'll cue you when it's time to switch. You can even take the arms overhead if you wanted. Again, especially if this is new to you, I recommend just really focusing on the alignment. So keeping the other foot, maybe using the hands can be really helpful. And then we're going to do the other side. All right, last one. And then you pause. So the next one is going to be the side, side, side. And then when you get to the end, you can do the can kick. And so I'll start by leading that. Side, 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 can. I'm going to offer, they have different counts, so that's why I'm giving this to you now. I'm going to offer the other option of a releve, where you jump up click your heels. Make a wish, click your heels. So try them both out and choose which one sounds good to you. And we'll get started. So side, side, can. Side, and this is a little coordinated. So again, be gentle with yourself. And then if you want to add the releve, it's a different count. So I'm going to stop cueing the side. And we just have 7 seconds left. All right. The final one in this, and then we're going to repeat it one more time, is to come into a forearm plank. Now you have a few options with this. You can keep the knees on the ground. You can lift the knees up. You can drop one knee at a time, and you're going to feel that works different muscles. So choose the one that you like and begin. I'll give you a little countdown on this one. Now this is the one where, oh, you could try Kapalabhati breath if you like. Deep breath in. Exhale, just 5 seconds left. And release. All right, so you have a 1-minute break. You just want to check in. Any questions on that? Nan, you're smiling. Do you like it?
How many breaths out should you blow out before inhaling again with that?
30.
So I usually do 30. You can do as many as you like. And it depends on, again, the pace. So when you're just starting this breath, pick something that feels comfortable to you. So
Okay.
there's no magic number. I've been queuing 30. All right, I think our break is up. All right, so we'll do this one more time. We'll start sitting on the couch, and we'll start with the left leg on the ground this time. When you're ready, begin. Switch. Just 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now we're going to do the side step. So I'm just going to do the releve. You pick whichever one you like, and you do it to a rhythm that works for you. Side, 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 and then either can or the hop jump. Just 10 seconds. Last round, just 1 second left. And we're going to end with a forearm plank. So again, choose the variation that works for you. When you're ready, assume the position. Add the breath if you like. Begin. Deep breath in. Exhale. 5 seconds. And release. Let's hang out in a Sphinx pose. Just let the lower back relax into its natural arch. Let the floor create an opportunity for those hip flexors in the front of the hips to find length. Just 2 more breaths. Just noticing how your body returns to its natural heart rate, your breathing comes back. And when you're ready, we'll just make our way back to a downward dog. Notice the temperature of your skin, the rhythm of your breath, maybe the temperature of the muscles. Are you even noticing any subtle shifts in energy? What's the quality of that energy? Is it calming? Is it stimulating? Is it peaceful? Is it irritated? And just notice. Try not to attach judgment. Just notice it for what it is. Easier said than done. And then we'll come to the front of the mat. Again, nice deep forward fold. Knees are deeply bent, so you have a little shelf for your forearms. And then inhale, you rise. And gentle back bend. Exhale, draw the palms down towards center. All right, I want to just check in before we start our flow. How's everyone feeling? All right, I get a couple of thumbs up. Great. Nice, nice, nice. All right, so we'll do this flow should be fairly familiar. We'll do warrior 1 with the intention on the core. When you're ready, inhale, reach up, gentle back. On your exhale, hold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Next inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Imagine the block between the thighs. Imagine you're separating your heels. Feel the tailbone lengthening, the core engaging. Then inhale, rise up. Flip the right palm up and do a nice little side stretch to the left. Inhale back through center and switch. Back to center. Release the arms, just roll out the shoulders. And we're going to set our blocks up at the front. So the thing that may be different for you in this flow, and I'm going to demonstrate it before, you're in a forward fold and maybe you don't have easy access to the video, is when we're stepping from warrior 1 to the front of the mat. This is where having your hands on blocks or maybe even a table or a chair would come in handy. The back leg lifts, and then like we did in table, you're going to bring the knee and nose towards each other. They're probably not going to touch. So you're using your core. Samana Vayu, hug in, build fire, and then extend out. And we'll do that 3 times. So just check this out. See if you have a surface high enough for you, if the blocks are good, or you could use a bed. All right. Does everyone feel okay with what they've got? Okay, great. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. On your exhale, fold half. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Hands can come to the block or table. The left leg steps back. You come into your warrior one, hands on the hips to start. Straighten the front knee and then bend it. Arms rise up. You flow in and out. This we've done before. The legs weren't warmed up with our hip. Do it. Hopefully you're feeling a nice stretch on that back calf. Now pause in your warrior one. Deep breath in through the nose, optional Kapalabhati. Deep breath in. Exhale. Lower the hands to the blocks. The back leg lifts. Now, of course, this is optional. You could come into a forward fold if you're looking for something a little more restorative and hang out in the forward fold. Alternatively, you bring the knee in towards the nose and extend the leg back. Now, again, be mindful not to overarch the back. So if you're super flexy, you may be lifting that leg too high. This is about coiling in, Samanavayu. Next time the knee is in towards the chest, pause here. And then lower it down to meet the right leg. Inhale, rise, a gentle back bend. Exhale, right into a forward fold. Press into the leg, nice long spine. On your exhale, right leg steps back, warrior one with hands on the hips. Take the time to find your foundation. And then straighten and bend the knee. Add the arms. Find your flow. Welcome to close your eyes as you do this. Maybe imagining that you're just rising up out of your body and just looking down and watching yourself as you flow in and out of this pose. Extend the knees bent, arms are up, pause here. Option to layer on that Kapalabhati. Exhale, lower the hands to the blocks, back leg lifts. Level off the hip. Feel the core activate. Then draw the knee in towards the nose. Extend it back. But focus on the hugging in. The going back is just sort of resetting. So you don't want to overarch the lower back. Just one more time. Hug in and pause. Step the right leg down to meet the left. Inhale, rise. Gentle back. Exhale, right into your forward fold. Press into the leg. Nice long spine. Left leg steps back. Warrior one. Straighten and lower. Bend and reach. Alternatively, lower the torso to the inside of the right leg. And then inhale, rise. So this is going to be a little bit more demanding on the core, specifically the lower back. So make sure the lower back feels okay. You want to make sure the whole body feels okay with this. There's also a tendency to get rigid in the neck. So just be mindful of that. Relaxing the jaw. Next time you exhale, pause where you are. And take 5 deep breaths. In breath, you rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, hands lower to the back leg lifts. Draw it into the ribs 3 times, then extend it out. Next time the knees in towards the ribs, pause here and a little pulse. Pulse in, 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 and lower down. Inhale, rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, halfway fold. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Right leg steps back for warrior 1. Flow in the variation that works on this side. So just above the navel center, that's what we call the hara center, the fire center. So you want to feel right from the center. As you come forward, you're radiating out in both directions. On your exhale, pause. So from the heart center, you radiate out through that back leg, simultaneously radiating out through the torso, out the crown of the head. Just 3 more breaths. Rise, gentle back bend. Exhale. Lower the hands to the blocks. Float the back leg up. And bring that knee in 3 times. Pause with the knee in towards the ribs and pulse. And lower the right leg to meet the left. Now rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, draw the palms down to the center of the heart. Moment, check in. Notice the heart rate. Notice the body temperature. Notice the breath pace. When you're ready, release the hands down. And I just want to check in. We're going to be headed to the floor. I just want to check in and see if you're interested in more core, more heat, or if you're ready to do, extended sort of twists and stretch and shavasana, because this was a more vigorous class. So I don't want to give you more vigor than you showed up looking for.
Are we,
What's that?
never mind. What was I going to say? I don't know about anyone else, but I'm sweating. It's great. So
All right.
I don't
What's
care.
that?
We can either go down, or we can either take it down or keep it where it is. It's okay with me.
Okay. So just give me a thumbs down. Not that it's a bad thing, but just taking it down is down. So it would be more sort of stretching, which could be a good thing since we really worked our muscles to make sure that we're lengthening them. But this is core. So we could do, I'm thinking, the strap core stuff where we, have the leg in the strap and we come up and we twist and stuff. So if you want down, give me a thumbs down. If you don't care, it can go across like this. If you want more core, let me just see. I got to get you guys bigger.
This-
Okay, so we have a lot of I don't cares and a couple of ups. So up it is. All right, so grab your strap and come to your mat. And so, again, if once we start doing this, you're like, whoops, nope, kidding, I really want to stretch, then of course you just stretch. So it's been a while since we've done this. You'll start seated, one knee is bent. Sorry, the leg is straight, left leg is straight, and we're going to put the tie on the right foot. Just like we did in the boat pose, you're going to lean back and kind of balance on those sit bones, as we call them. The strap on the right leg, the leg is straight, arms are straight, and you're going to roll back. So slower is going to make it harder. The first one we're going to do slow just so you can see what I'm doing, but then you can pick up the pace and take advantage of some momentum. Now just imagine this right leg, that's pulling you up. It presses away and you catch sort of a free ride on that. So just try that, and then we're going to add on, we'll add a little twist. Next time you're up, just pause here. Take the tie in your left hand, and then you're going to twist and open up this right shoulder to the right and come back to center. So that's our sequence. Roll back, press the right leg away, twist. We'll do that 2 more times. Back to center, roll back, press away, twist right, back to center, roll back. Last one, twist up, roll up, twist right, and back to center. All right, little bend in the right knee. See if you can put the left foot in the strap. So you could stay here. So this is kind of our supported boat pose. You could do a little rock and hold. And sometimes it takes a little while to figure out how much rock and how much hold. So I invite you to be curious and playful with this. And if it bothers the spine, of course you don't do it. But this can be very energizing, this rolling. Next time you're up, stay up. Release the right leg long. So now you've got the tie in the strap. Arms are straight, leg is straight. You roll back. So enjoy the hamstring stretch. Don't rush. Press the left leg away and it brings you up. We'll begin. And then just try out the twist on the left side. Make sure the shoulder and the arm feel okay with that. And let's begin. Roll back. Roll up. Twist left. Roll back. Roll up. Twist left. One more. Roll back. Roll up. Twist left. Back to center. Right leg joins the left. You're balancing on your sit bones or not. Maybe the feet come to the ground. And rock and hold. So what you might find is first time you do this, you're like, what? And then maybe it becomes fun. Next time you're up, pause here. Lower the feet to the ground. Heels are on the ground. And then stretch the legs long. And then enjoy a gentle forward fold here. Maybe a little bit of a bend in the knee. Relax the chin towards the neck. There's a tendency to overstretch the front of the neck. Maybe you can walk your hands down closer to the feet. Take a few breaths. And you'll rise up. You remove the tie. Your right leg in towards you. You're hugging the shin and that draws the spine nice and long. Left hand to the outside. Maybe hand, maybe forearm, just depending on arm length and flexibility. Right hand comes behind you. Press into the right hand to get length, and then you begin to twist towards the right. Keep drawing the left hip back as you do that. Exhale back through center and take a counter stretch in the other direction. Back to center. Right foot to the inside of that left thigh and let that left leg go out to the side. Jani Shushasana. Nice sort of stretch to the outside of that right hip. So rotate the torso to the right. And on your exhale, just begin to tip the hips forward. So we did sort of that pelvic rocking. So you're just rolling over the pelvis. We're not really stretching. We're not really entering. Well, maybe this is the entry point to the pose, but we're not going to our full expression. And just take a couple of breaths here. Notice if there's any pulling on the behind that knee. Put a little bend in it if you're feeling that. And now on your exhale, maybe you go a little bit deeper and just watch where you feel the stretches. And notice if anything feels imbalanced. Are you feeling too much of a stretch in the lower back? Too much of a stretch on the outside of the hip? And make adjustments. And then exhale, let's go a little deeper. Maybe this right hand can come to the outside of the left foot, but not if it creates rounding in the spine. And then rise up to the other side. Extend the right leg, hug the left leg. Hand or forearm comes around. Left hand comes behind you. So I haven't started twisting yet because I'm getting my foundation. I want to really make sure that I keep this right hip from twisting. Inhale, left. Exhale, twist to the left, but draw that right hip back. Don't let it follow. And you breathe into this. And you watch your body open. And then maybe you fill that space by coming a little deeper into the twist. Exhale, you come back through center. Take a gentle twist to the right. Back to center. Jani Shushasana. Left foot to the inside of the right, and the right leg is out at a slight angle. And you rotate the torso so that you're trying to sort of draw your belly button in the direction of the knee, but you keep that left hip drawing back. On your inhale, get length. Slide the shoulders on the back of your body, and then you just tip forward. So we're just looking, all right, what is the first part of your body that starts to feel the stretch? And maybe you put a little bend in the knee. Maybe you make little adjustments because you don't want to feel this just in one place. You're going to feel it where you're tightest. But there's little things that you can do so that you can distribute all the fun to other parts of the body. And we don't want to go too deep, too fast, because you want to let your body sort of feel safe and invite you to go deeper. So if you have the invitation, then maybe you go a little bit deeper here. And maybe that left hand comes to the outside of the right foot. Relax the face. Relax the eyes. You can close your eyes if you like. And you rise up. Let's bend both knees. They're wide. And just let them flow like windshield wipers, side to side. I don't know if you guys have rain. We have snow here, but Definitely windshield wiper weather. All right. Ready for the floor. All right, so let's put socks on, any sort of layering of clothing. And you could have a block nearby, you like. And I'm gonna offer a double kneed spinal twist. If you prefer to do one with a tie, you could certainly do that. But in the interest of time, I'm just gonna do the double kneed spinal twist. Start with your knees bent, feet on the floor. Just use the block here to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So let's let the hips rest on the block and invite that blood flow. We stimulated the circulation with our movement. Just invite that to the heart, opening the heart with one of its purpose of helping the blood flow to circulate throughout the body. And so if you're finding that this is like, whoa, I don't want to move, I am ready for Shavasana, stay right here until Shavasana. If you'd like to do the spinal twist, you remove the block, set it to the left side of you, draw the knees in, and then lower the knees towards the left. And if you find that when you draw them to the left, that this top knee is behind, you can't keep it. If you can't keep the knees stacked, that means that the hips have shifted. You could place a block between the knees. And then this right arm, maybe it rests on the hip, or maybe you extend it out to the side. So again, just notice which options of alignment keep the integrity of your body and offer you sort of the best stretch. Now, as we are transitioning to Shavasana, invite the breath to slow down. Invite the exhale to be a little slower than the inhale. When you're ready, come up through center, lower the feet, shift the hips to the to the left, and then lower the knees towards the right. And again, you might notice a difference on this side of the body. We'll use the block here. Let the breath breathe the body. Let the breath fill up space. Let it stretch those little teeny muscles inside you. Let it stretch the fascia that we find throughout the entire body on top of the organs. Many, many layers of fascia. When you're ready, you come back to center and then find your Shavasana using the props that will help support the body. Finding a technique that will keep your mind from wandering. So that could be just focusing on the breath. Could be counting backwards. It could be observing the sounds without attaching any meaning to them. And then allow your body to integrate a lot of the new patterns of movement that we did. Allow the body to rest and renew. Allow your next breath to be a little longer and a little deeper. By gentle movements, maybe wiggling your fingers or toes. When you're ready, slowly make your way to your side. Taking a moment to thank your body for carrying you through your practice. Maybe noticing how it feels. And when you're ready, making your way up to seated, keeping the eyes closed. Keeping in mind your ability to build the fire within you. If you'd like to join me in a chant of Om, take a deep breath in. Om. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you all for joining me. Oops. All right.